Jean-Paul, how are you doing? Welcome back at another video. It's probably not the video you're kind of used to, because normally I escape out in the forest, the beautiful countryside of England, but I'm not in England at the moment. I'm actually at a very important historical place that I will share more about during this video. Because in this video I want to speak about the life path of a number 9. And this is not really your typical video that's going to be really so much about numerology, because this is something that perhaps you could use as an example for your own life, to write your own story, to tell your own story. And during the video you might notice that the information about to share with you has probably nothing to do right now with your personal life. But again, I want to share a story as a way for you to use for yourself, as an example, once again. So right now I'm at a very historical place, in a town called Middelburg. It's the capital of Zeeland. And why this is important is I will share with you in a moment. But let me get back to the beginning. Quite recently I have done another numerology reading, and actually I already knew that I have got a life path of a number 9, and it really revealed again a lot of things about me that I kind of already knew, but again it was not really something I completely accepted or integrated in my daily life. And as a number 9 you will face a lot of challenges, different kind of challenges that other people are, they take it a little bit more for granted of what they are dealing with. But for you, a lot of things in your life feels like, oh shit, I have to do it again and again, once again. I've already done that, why I have to be bothered again? Because the number 9 is the last number of the numerology. And that means is that you're kind of like at your final exam of life. And yes, indeed, a lot of things you have already done for yourself. And it also feels like you are like a very intuitive, empathetic old soul that, it kind of seems like you have been already here on this earth plane for so many centuries. It's like you have come here, you have just come again here to learn your final lessons and to show humanity the lessons you have been through. As a number 9, it's like you can remember a lot of things from the past. The past from humanity, the past from the earth, planet Earth, and the struggles and challenges humanity had to go through. It's like you have already been through that. Now the real question of course is like, okay, so what exactly is your purpose here? And how more you watch my videos, perhaps you could actually see that what I'm doing is something that you also can start to do, can also be doing for yourself. As a number 9, it's like you're here to tell stories. You're here to teach, to share insights in whatever the field, your chosen field might be. It also feels as that you have already been through so many things, and many things has not longer your interest. Perhaps you would like to dive into the past so you can see how that actually is related to the present, and what kind of upcoming events we might face that we have to go through, and take these lessons into the future so we can learn to navigate better. But anyway, my personal story, I've told it quite a few times already on this channel, but real short. I mean, when I came out of high school I only wanted to do one thing: join the Dutch Marine Corps. And how important that is to the Dutch history is what I will share with you in a minute. But first let me continue to explain my story, so perhaps you could see that as an example for your own. I wanted to join the Dutch Marine Corps. And the Dutch Marine Corps has been established in the 7th century by an admiral called Michiel de Ruyter. I will share images with you of where Michiel de Ruyter is coming from. He came from a town called Vlissingen, Flushing. Historical town that is still very active right now as a port city with active pilot stations boarding incoming and outgoing vessels who are going up to the river towards Antwerp, Belgium. Michiel de Ruyter, he was an admiral during the 7th century when the Dutch were at war with the Spanish, the Portuguese, the French, the English. And once there was an operation, there has been a movie developed by this historical event called Admiral, or Michiel de Ruyter. There was like a special mission where the Dutch had to infiltrate England. They had to go on the River the Thames in order to invade London, and they needed a special sea soldier, that could disembark from a vessel, go on a little boat, and enter the shore and complete a task, a military task. This is still what's happening today by the Dutch Marine Corps, because it's a division from the Navy. And back in the day, that's all what I wanted to do. I felt like I wanted to go to the Caribbean, because the Dutch Marine Corps has right now establishments at Bonaire, Curaçao, Aruba, the ABC Islands, which is kind of part of the Netherlands. It's not really part of the Netherlands, but it was kind of like a colony. However, for some reason, I joined a college called the Shipping and Transport College in Rotterdam, which has everything to do with international trade, logistics, shipping, and so forth. After my college, I started working for a Dutch shipping company. First, I worked for a shipping company called Hapag-Lloyd, a very large container line, international. And pretty soon I felt like something was off, like I didn't really belong working as an employee for a corporation, but I felt like I had to work for myself. So this trader's mind, the mind of or the spirit of a trader, like a merchant trader, or not so much a merchant trader, but more like the entrepreneurial spirit, the tradesman, it was part of me from a very young age. And that's exactly what I felt I had to do. And I've done that. And I've made money, and I lost money. But eventually I also learned that just being focused on just marketing and sales and making money, doing this all day long, it kind of like depleted my energy levels. And for me it was a very hard thing to accept that perhaps this lifetime I'm not just longer about that anymore. Perhaps I'm here to learn and to share insights from a much broader perspective, from different perspectives. I came to London in 2013 to start all over, and I was feeling so ashamed and feeling guilty for the things I've done that I started to see like a psychic, like a medium, like a spiritual medium, because I wanted to know exactly what was really going on in my soul, of why I felt so ashamed and guilty for my misfortunes. Journaling into the Akashic records, I've learned that yes, I am indeed a very old soul, and I've lived different lifetimes that also originate to the 7th century, where we started to see visions of a merchant trader sailing west. So think about West Indies towards South America, Central America, and part of North America. Later on, I found out that my surname, Blommaert, it originates to a very successful and wealthy merchant trader who was born in Antwerp in Belgium. That's why I've got this Flemish surname. he started to join and started to work for the VOC, Verenigd Oost-Indisch Compagnon, East Indian Company. The Golden Age, 16th, 17th century, it was the Dutch who established the first multinational, global multinational of international trading. From the VOC there was another department called WIC, West Indian Company. This guy, this merchant trader, Blommaert, Samuel Blommaert, I found out he had an entire listing on Wikipedia of everything he had done. He ventured into Brazil and other large parts of South America, Central America. So perhaps that was actually the reason why I wanted to join the Dutch Marine Corps, because it originated from the 7th century. And that perhaps it explains why I wanted to join the shipping industry, work in the shipping industry, because it kind of like made most sense to me. And perhaps that's why it also made most sense to me to work in the trades. Selling, negotiating, business, entrepreneurship, marketing, sales. It just made the most sense to me. Now, I don't know about you, but if there are many things in your life that just made most sense to you, perhaps that is a signal that it is something you have done before. It's something you know. It's something you have previous experience. So that's why you feel and you think that is something you have to do once more. But nothing can be further from the truth. I mean, yes, these can be golden nuggets that can be found within your soul. And when you are at the life path number 9, remembering all these things you already know can offer you a great fundamental knowledge of moving further, what's coming ahead, teaching, advising, and not so much like maybe one-on-one or in a way that you have to listen to others, because right now you're in the position that others have to listen to you, or they want to listen to you, or what it is you have to say and what you have to share. But anyway, I started off this video saying that right now I'm in a very important historical place. Where I'm at, it used to be a wharf during the 7th century, where the VOC has built it and overseen. There's right there, it's a big house, VOC headquarters, who had to oversee the builds of over 336 vessels, merchant vessels that were built here. So this place, Middelburg, was actually the second largest city besides Amsterdam during the time of the VOC and the WIC. And it feels special to me to be here. It feels like this is where I've come from. This is where everything started. So coming back here, it definitely triggers things in me. I mean, of course, right now everything is like a tourist place where you see like small little yachts everywhere. I mean, right there, this big building of the modern Chamber of Commerce. But of course, we had also VOC Chamber of Commerce, where all the new trades and trade agreements were established, and routes were discovered between the Netherlands and other parts of the world, the West Indies and the East Indies. But right now we all have like modern luxury apartments, because maybe some do resonate with the history of this town and others think it's just a nice, beautiful place, but they don't know much about the history, because you really have to dive into the history books, or you really have to dive into the old museums just to get a glimpse of what actually happens. Because Netherlands wouldn't be existed without the VOC, because the Netherlands would just be like a delta, a swamp with nothing. It's the VOC that built the Netherlands, that started to dig out the Netherlands out of the mud, out of the swamps, building dikes and building polders. Anyway, this story perhaps might not be very relevant to you, as maybe you were more looking for 7 signs of a numerology test. But again, life is not really just about numerology, it's about experiences. So it's nice to know that you're number 9 or whatever. It is about recognizing that you are a very old soul and you're here to share your knowledge and your wisdom from everything you have collected and gathered along the way. And your history is unique to you. You might have nothing to do with the VOC or WIC. It's not relevant at all. It is just like I wanted to share that as a personal story, because it's something that is coming from my ancestors, and that's something I like to honor, as I've done shamanic healing and journeys as well into the ancestral healing part. It is big, it's huge, and many Dutch are coming from this heritage, and many of them doesn't know it, because it's not all rainbows and colorfuls and butterflies from this history. It's also a dark history, where we used to build vessels for the slave trades. We were not slave traders ourselves, we built vessels for the slave trades. But every history has its dark sides. And for us and for you, the opportunity to see what it is that you want to do with it. Do you want to teach, you want to heal, you want to share insights, you want to advise, or you want to maybe use your knowledge, because number 8 is all about the trading, making more money from money. Use that knowledge because you have already been there, you have already done that, you have already been through these lessons. Perhaps you want to dig up these lessons you have already learned, polish it, and see how you can find others around you and step into this leadership role and teach and guide and coach and mentor for those who are still in the number 8, who want to make money from money, and you just let them do their thing. Well, you as a smart person, you're getting around smarter people who actually get the job done. And you as a leader, because that's who you are as a number 9, you step into your leadership role. Teach, coach, guide, mentor, advise, because that's who you are in number 9.